Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we'd do a two-page nativity scrapbook layout. The idea for this layout actually came from a song I've been listening to over and over on YouTube. I do follow this channel called the Hound and the Fox, and they have a song called We Three Kings, and I thought it was so beautiful. And so I've been watching it and over, and this idea for this layout actually came to me. And I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys. The paper that I'm using from today is actually a mixture from this blue paper. I usually use it quite often. It's from the open stock section at Hobby Lobby. And the rest is actually a combination. A lot of it is from Scrapbook.com, and some of it is just paper I had in my stash. To start off, my background paper measures 11.5 by 11.5, and I did ink my edges with my Stampin' Up! Early Espresso. To start off, I do have 3 border pieces. These are actually Googled images that I brought down to my silhouette and trays. If anybody's interested in that, I do have a video tutorial. For my first one, this one does measure 11.5 and 6 1/4. For my second one, it measures 11.5 by 3 1/4. And for my top one, it does measure 11.5 by 2 1/4. And this is the one that I mentioned that I had paper in my stash, and I just decided on these 3 colors. Next, I'll go ahead and back this on a piece of 12 by 12 craft cardstock paper. And for my next page, I actually already have it ready. And these are actually the same borders. All I did was duplicate them and flip them. To start off, I do have my frame. My frame measures 9 3/4 by 7 1/4. And on my silhouette, I did do internal offset. For the inside, it does measure 4 by 6. And on my silhouette, I did do an internal offset. And this is the paper that I mentioned is from Scrapbook.com. It's part of it's actually a couple of different collections. So if you just type in Nativity, a couple will come out. As you can see, the paper is really pretty, and this is the Silent Night paper. So cute. Next, I do have two photo mats. They do measure 4 1/4 by 3 3/4, and on my silhouette, I did internal offset. The files that I'm using for today, I'm actually using 3 files from Cuddly Cute Designs. I'll go ahead and leave the information on the description down below just in case anybody's interested. For my first piece, it does measure 6 inches by 6.5, and that does include my angel. Next, I do have 2 palm trees. The big one measures 5 1/8 by 3 inches. The small one measures 4 3/4 by 2 7/8. Next, I do have Mary and Joseph. Mary measures 3 1/8 by 2 inches. Joseph measures 3 3/8 by 1.5. Next, I do have the baby. It does measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and I did pop off the top part with 1 thickness of foam tape just to give it a little bit of dimension. Next, I do have my camel. The camel measures 5 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I did pop up this part with 1 thickness of foam tape. Next, I do have my 3 wise men. For my first one, it does measure 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. This one measures 4 7/8 by 2 1/4. And lastly, this one measures 4 7/8 by 2 1/8. And they're all popped up on 1 thickness of foam tape, and they're actually what they're holding. Each one of them, it's also popped up on another layer of foam tape. And here I did add liquid pearls, and here I added Nuva drops. I really liked how this layout came out. When I was working on it, the song I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I kept playing it over and over. I really liked it. And my daughter, when I was working on it, she fell in love with it as well. She kept calling Mary Jasmine. She thought I was working on a Aladdin layout. I had to tell her that unfortunately this wasn't Aladdin and Jasmine. But kids are just too cute. And if anybody's interested in the song I mentioned, I'll go ahead and leave it in the description down below. It really is a beautiful song. Like I said, I was listening to it while I was working on this layout. So if anybody's interested in that, I'll go ahead and leave it on the description down below. lastly, I do have two sheep. This one measures 2 5/8 by 2 3/4. This one measures 2 3/4 by 2 1/8, and they're both popped up on one thickness of foam tape. And there you have it. This is my 2-page Nativity scrapbook layout. I really want to thank everybody who's been following me, subscribing. Welcome all my new subscribers. I actually opened up this channel at the beginning of last year, and I posted my very first video in the beginning of January. And I've actually come a long way, and I really want to thank all of you who's been there and supported me. This is actually the last video I'll be posting for the rest of the year. I will be taking a small break after this and coming back in the new year. I really want to thank everybody. I hope you guys all have a beautiful holiday, and I can't wait to see you guys again in the new year. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.